But first, a gut check for the world's largest economy. We learned today that the U.S. economy barely grew in the first 3 months of 2016. The country's employers slowed hiring in May, adding a disappointing 38,000 jobs. CCTV's Jessica Stone has more on what it means for the global economy.
Nearly 500,000 unemployed Americans stopped looking for work last month, lowering the unemployment rate to 4.7%. This as U.S. employers slowed their hiring, adding the fewest number of jobs in more than 5 years, just 38,000. It's all in the Bureau of Labor Statistics monthly report released Friday.
The 38,000 growth in payroll jobs is really very low, and now 2 months in a row have been fairly low. The drop in the unemployment rate sounds good on the surface, but it was all driven by people dropping back out of the labor force. So that's disappointing as well.
The Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ all finished lower on the day. The U.S. dollar also tumbled to a 3-week low. The weak jobs report raises doubts that the U.S. Central Bank will increase the short-term interest rate at its mid-June meeting. That rate affects the cost of borrowing in dollars. Federal Reserve Governor Lael Brainerd was the first to speak after the employment report's release. She urged caution.
In today's circumstances, prudent risk management implies we should wait for additional data to provide confidence that domestic activity has rebounded and reassurance that near-term international events will not derail progress toward our goals.
But before the report's release, the president of the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago showed his support for the possibility of 2 rate hikes this year. Nonetheless, with slowing growth in China and the prospect of the UK leaving Europe, U.S. central bankers are balancing softness in the U.S. economy with new doubts about stability around the world.
I think what Janet Yellen does and what they do at the Fed is they look at a really wide range of indicators. The job numbers this month and last month are disappointing. That alone might give her pause and might make her wait a little longer to start raising rates.
Next Monday in Philadelphia, U.S. Central Bank Chief Janet Yellen will give a speech on the U.S. economic outlook. It could be the last chance for her to signal her position on a potential Fed rate hike before the June meeting. Jessica Stone, CCTV, Washington.